exert all of the great energy we had on the semifinals and then fall short here in the finals. If you're UNC, things have been going great. Things have been going according to plan for a team and a school that was in the national championship final just last year. So for them, it's business as usual until otherwise needed.
Well, we talked extensively about Virginia Tech replacing their captain and having to replace their top player in Derek Crage, who is again here doing a tremendous job coordinating this tournament for us. And you can still tell very much pulling for his friends and former teammates with Virginia Tech. Well, Carolina is the epitome of that, having to replace Colin Schick, of course, their top player, now really making a name for himself in the pro game, doing exactly what college sports is supposed to do if you have professional aspirations, providing that platform you were just discussing. But Carolina really hasn't missed a beat without him. They add Stephen Deminy to this lineup. You're going to see Deminy and Hunter Boyd on the men's side for North Carolina, and they always say big shoes to fill, and that was really the case for both of these teams. But what we've seen now from the players that have stepped in, Gladstone for Virginia Tech and Deminy from North Carolina, they're comfortable on this stage. They're comfortable in these high leverage games, and that's what we expect to see in this championship match as well.
I'll add to that the beauty of this sport allows them to be comfortable on these stages, because it wasn't like these, D'Enemy and Gladstone were just sitting on the bench waiting in the wings. They're playing too. They're at these events. They know what the atmosphere is like, and they're paying attention to what their leaders did in those moments and taking a little bit of what they learned from them and also their own personalities to lead these teams to the finals today.
But we get the women's doubles first, as is the format. So Kayla Nesbitt, you just saw serve for North Carolina. Her partner, Sarah Carpenter, as Carolina strikes first for a 1-0 lead. This Virginia Tech tandem of Nilium Gaze and Julia Hoffman played exceptionally well in all of the mediums, but did fall short in women's doubles to UVA. And Carolina off to a 2-0 start.
Yeah, for Virginia Tech, you can make some mistakes, but you don't want to make too many early and allow that to pile on. And then that's when I'm kind of tired. Some of those shots I was making in the semifinals, the fatigue setting in, that those thoughts start to creep in and have more credence than they should.
Another point this time to Virginia Tech for the first time in the match, serving 1-2. Again, we were really marveling at Gaze's ability to stay in the moment. That time a little loose from Hoffman and put down harshly by Sarah Carpenter. Her serve leading 3-1 for the Heels. Ernie was defensed wonderfully by Gaze, and Nesbitt laughing. You see her walking right into our camera shot there. I kind of got caught red-handed.
Yeah, I sure did. And Gaze, to our previous points about her being very stable, she was able to fend that off, no problem.
And a beautiful roll from Carpenter there.
Yeah, a bit unorthodox from what you would normally see with the paddle being so far out to your side, but it did put some roll on that ball, made it tough to return.
4-2 the score. Carpenter with another put away. She had a handful already, 5-2 for North Carolina. Carolina won women's and men's doubles over Clemson. Clemson was able to force a game 4 by winning mixed doubles 1, but ultimately succumbed in mixed doubles 2. Nesbitt, can already tell, has a wonderful personality, even on her mishits, such as that one. 3-4.
I feel like in doubles across the board, if you have partners and one is a little bit more like that and the other is more I say focused or serious, those teams tend to do really well. They build off of each other. They feed off of one another in different ways. So we'll see if that partnership is fortuitous again.
Virginia Tech drawing even and now taking their first lead. Check that, 5-5. So Virginia Tech now drawing even at 5-5.
Putting those atlases to the test. Two paddles coming together, but coming away with the point.
And the paddle brand of Mike Fotopoulos, who's top players here locally in Richmond. Sponsorship deals with Derek Crage and some of the Virginia Tech players. A foot fault called on Julia Hoffman there. And bring it back to Carolina. We were discussing that during the semifinal round.
Yeah, that's a tough one to take, considering that you don't hear that throughout the day because they're not being officiated. But at the same time, the players can't be expected to see the feet when they're trying to follow the ball too. So tough one to take and hard to argue because you can't see your feet, so you have to go with what the official said.
Yep, so 6-all. Now 7-6 for Carolina. And the fun part about this is both of these schools had more than one team here. Carolina had 3. Virginia Tech had the most with 5. So a lot of their teammates, overall teammates, have stuck around, of course, to show support. Swinging away on both sides. Gaze got the best of Nesbitt to 7-all.
Naturally, that ball on those hard speed ups is going to start to go down, and unfortunately Nesbitt was on the very end of that ladder.
Tough pick for Gaze. Hoffman tried to bail her out, and Carpenter says no.
She's so good at sitting right there on that and has great power to put it straight down. Doesn't have to worry about it maybe going long. Phenomenal paddle placement for Carpenter.
8-7. Overswing
Case
from
in point.
Gaze.
Yep, Gaze with the exact opposite issue as far as the placement and pushed it long.
9-7 for Carolina. Game 1, championship match. Miscommunication in the middle. 10-7 for the Heels. North Carolina playing Tech in basketball today. North Carolina prevailing. Number 3 team in the country at home. Dean Smith Center. A lot of Hokie and Heel fans were taking that in on the screens at Kitchen RVA here. And Carpenter did step in, and Mike Spooner quickly overrules the call. Ben Davis does.
Yeah, Mike was jumping the gun a little bit. She did touch the kitchen line, but the ball was in the kitchen, so she was allowed to do that.
Yep. 10-7. Speed cross, which is not generally advisable, but works out this time for Carolina, and they will take the lead on the end change. We'll take a timeout. Championship match game 1. North Carolina women with a slight lead over the Virginia Tech women as we decide who takes the TowneBank College Cup back to campus with them from Performance Pickleball RVA.
I did a Good Feet commercial about 4 years ago, and I thought maybe I should check in with you. Yeah, I'm still wearing my Good Feet arch supports. They give you the freedom to move without pain. I worry about how warm or cool to dress on trail, but I don't worry about my feet anymore. I put my arch supports in and forget about it. I'm Deidre Haven, and this
12-8 for the Heels, and score correction there in the changeover. Serving 12-8, Kayla Nesbitt.
That was the right decision by Gaza. I know she missed it, but she was able to pull Carpenter to the middle, try to go behind her. Just got to put that in play next time.
Oh, Carpenter So impressed. She's definitely that left side player, and she knows when it's her time to take over. 13-8.
I do like that about Carpenter and Nesbitt, that together they clearly know what their roles are, and they let that play out. We've seen it a couple times. Gaze and Hoffman look at each other like, who is supposed to get that? You don't see that with the Tar Heels.
That's going to fall in. Gaze has to desperately flick it back across, and made him hit one more shot, and Nesbitt didn't execute. 14-9 as Tech has the serve back. Would have been an out ball. That is an out ball. So Carolina had the advantage from the jump in this game. They've managed to hang on to it.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Even when a ball that, a play that should go against you still comes your way, that's one reason why you've got the lead you do.
Now it is 15-9. 15-9 for the Heels. Again, trying to jump out to an advantage. They really haven't trailed at any point today. It's not that they haven't had competitive matches, dropped a couple games, but they have played like the number one seed thus far. Long day of pickleball for both of these two teams, of course. Virginia Tech advanced as the number 2 seed, unbeaten out of their pool. Rickaway, middle pass from Carpenter.
Yeah, that deserves all the hoopla that she's getting from her teammates after that slide to the left and then put it back down to the middle.
16 serving 9. A little help from the tape. The Hokies needed it and got it. 10-16. You can just see in the body language, Hoffman a little bit maybe lacking in energy at the moment after that long battle through the Dream Breaker.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that you had to worry about if you're a Hokie fan is, okay, if things don't go our way, how are we going to respond? And unfortunately, that level of stress and fatigue is starting to play a big part.
A rifle backhand pass to the corner for Nesbitt. Well, it's interesting. I had a conversation briefly with Brandon Gladstone, the father of Zach Gladstone, is really the difference in that Dream Breaker. And he said, that's what Zach loves to do. Play singles. He's a singles guy. He has a focus on it, and it really showed up in that Dream Breaker.
It sure did, and you could tell even in the doubles play, which we'll see here next when the men's doubles teams are on the court. Carpenter's it well.
Laughing at herself. She tried to lob it, wound up just popping it up, and the most surprised was Gaze, and because of that, couldn't put away the juicy one. 18-10 for Carolina. Gaze can put away that one.
Yeah, got to when they get to that point. And she's had a couple miss hits, so good to feel that hit the paddle the right way and get the point for the Hokies.
And we'll take a timeout. We will keep it here, but the teams will take a timeout. A reminder as to how we got here. North Carolina defeated Clemson in semifinal 1 in 4 games. Virginia Tech, as you look at Hoffman and Gaze there, were certainly critical pieces in the Tech win over Virginia. Tech over UVA in the Dream Breaker, but they also came back after losing in women's doubles to Virginia to both heavily participate and propel Virginia Tech to a needed Game 4 win, mixed doubles Game 2, to force that Dream Breaker. That was Gaze, who really, I thought, hit the shot of that match, the ATP off the tape. Just a moment to thank a number of people. You can't put it on an event of this size without a whole lot of help, and that is true. We thank TowneBank. Angie Collins and I got together on this, and they really wanted to come aboard and be a part of advancing college pickleball. We can't thank them enough for their sponsorship, and really what that allowed us to do was bring you this broadcast. So straight on appreciation for those of you that are watching for TowneBank. Derek Crage for putting it together in Scholastic Pickleball, of course. 11-18, Gaze to serve. 19-11. So Carolina 19-11. Sarah Carpenter asking for clarification on the score and receiving it. And a point away now for the Heels from a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it really feels like a whole other level right now for UNC. They've tapped into something special and trying to put this thing away fairly early compared to what we've used to see here on the broadcast.
Second swing at it. Nets the first point in our championship match. Carolina too much for Tech in women's doubles, 21-11 as the top seed strutting their stuff. Men's doubles up next. A long way to go to award the TowneBank College Cup. You've hung with us all day. Come back with us as we continue to ramp it up inside Performance Pickleball RVA.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of every pickleball league. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of every pickleball league.
Women's doubles goes to North Carolina as the Heels notch the first point here in our first to three formats as we get set for men's doubles. Now, you know the two Hokies because they were our feature match in the semifinal round, but for those that weren't tuned in, Cody Miller, Zach Gladstone, hey everybody, championship match between the Hokies and the Heels. But for Carolina, Hunter Boyd and Stephen Demony. And as we get underway, Virginia Tech will strike the first blow as Tech grabs a quick 1-0 lead. And that, as you know, is Cody Miller serving. That is Hunter Boyd in the backwards white hat. And I immediately like him because that's how I like to wear my headgear when I play.
Yes, it is. No matter who you're supporting, he's
I like that it's coming back, man. We made that fashionable in the 90s. Cycling back around. So that went a little wide, so 1-1 to start here.
I find I make that choice depending on my mood.
Yeah, that's true.
As well.
Yeah, that's
so,
right. If you're not feeling it on the court, you.
Yeah. Or the environment, or if I'm taking pictures as opposed to video. When you lift that camera up to your eye, the bill of the hat gets in the way.
Ernie defensed wonderfully. But Boyd able to get back in position briefly for Carolina And Virginia Tech won the point anyway.
That's such a great rally. It's you hate that someone had to lose it. Phenomenal all the way around.
And a loose drive from Cody Miller. Four 3 is the score. 4-3. And now 4-4. And again, it was this pair for Virginia Tech that steadied the Hokies as a whole. It was a fiercely contested women's doubles round against Virginia. 22-20, they were defeated. But then Gladstone and Miller, the better of it. Look at the blindside open hand pass from Demony, and that's how you replace a guy like Schick with shots like that.
And because we got to see Miller and Gladstone play already, didn't see Miller go straight across very often. He'd usually go cross court on his backhand. So this time he changed it up, and De'Anemy said, "Thank you very much."
Gladstone let that pass, and it slid through the middle for Carolina. Couple points surge, and you hear the teammates you see assembled there for Carolina across. Cody went soft, anticipating that with Demony.
So smart by De'Anemy.
Demony's shot got an opportunity for Boyd, but he couldn't cash it in.
Smart and also high level of skill there to come charging at a ball and just softly put it in the back corner instead of sailing it wide.
5-5 is our score. That dropped in, and you can see Boyd is pouncing on these Ernie opportunities. The third time he's gone, the second time he's had success. 6-5 heels.
And now if you're Gladstone and Miller, you have to plan for that. You've seen it a few times now, so what are we going to do to prevent that from happening? He's only taking it because we're putting ourselves in that position.
6-all. Saw excellent adjustments from Gladstone and Miller in the semifinal round. Demony hangs his head. He can't believe that. And sometimes that just extra skip on the serve, I miss a ton of those because of that.
All of your opponents are going to note that now, John. You gave it away. Come after you now with the
skip. It's not really something that matters if they know or not. It's just that I'm just not very good. 7-7. And that was a beautiful little backhand roll there.
Yeah, smart.
Cody Miller, we've talked about it.
Yeah, so good, especially with De'Anemy being in that no man's land, that transition zone. A great placement for the ball there.
That is long. Caught him in on the body. Tied up. That is ruled out. 9-7. That was a phenomenal pickup there from Miller that allowed Gladstone to tee off. 10-7 for Virginia Tech.
There it is. The adjustment from Gladstone to prevent the Ernie.
Backhand roll did not work that time for Cody Miller. 8-10. Next point, Tech would change ends. Carolina, midpoint switch. 2 back-to-back misfires on that signature spot. And signature shot from Miller.
I thought they were going to pull it off with the switch.
Deep on the return, so a 3-point little mini sprint here for the Heels evens the score at 10-all. And it's actually the Heels that force the switch at ends with a 4-0 run. So 11-10 for North Carolina as we will change ends. The Heels took women's doubles, 1 point slight advantage in men's doubles. Quick timeout from the TowneBank College Cup.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of every pickleball league. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of every pickleball league.
John Lizer, Joe Hutzler back with you inside Performance Pickleball RVA. Hunter Boyd there in that slick-looking backwards white hat in Carolina. They've made the drive up here from Chapel Hill, and they have acclimated well to this new Sterling indoor facility. They lead 11-10.
I'll say this, and it's not because of my affiliation with Performance, but walking around today, filming some of the action, heard a lot of these college players talking about how great this facility is, not just to be indoors, but to be indoors with a great surface, great lighting. Overall atmosphere has been phenomenal, and all the information, the TVs, things like that, the kitchen, they've never seen any place like it, and hopefully if you haven't, you will someday.
Saw Boyd able to stop mid-swing there on the instruction from his partner, Stephen Deminy. 12-11 Heels. Yeah, absolutely. That was very gratifying to hear that from these collegiate players. And there's the more usual backhand roll from Cody Miller after he missed a couple. 12 apiece. Critical game here, obviously, but just get the feel like if North Carolina were to win this game, it would be too long a road back for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and I really feel like Virginia Tech needs to find their footing again because they were up 10-6 before the break and end up giving that away. So if they can find what they had in the beginning of the game, or something like that, and things could change in their way.
Shot by Gladstone. Corner pocket. 13-13. Yeah, the roll over the swat. 14-13.
Gosh, like being a bug on a windshield, man, every time that backhand comes across the kitchen line.
14-13. 15-13. And again, there's that subtle skip on the serve there. Kind of 8 Deminy up. Great placement right at the feet. Boyd nodding. Get himself going. 14-15. Well, the matchups have been as good as the talent level today. It's been tremendous. Miller just says wow to himself. No. How did you miss that?
How did that?
And 15 all.
Very fundamental moment go so awry.
That was a great return from Miller.
Nice job for Boyd to still get it over.
Gladstone wasn't sure if that was going to fall in, and that's the right thing to do if you don't know. You've got the kill shot, take it, 16-15.
Keep destiny in your hands.
I like that, Joe. Very profound.
The college kids, they're very at that age, right? Very moldable anyway. So
17-15. So are we. We've maintained that youthful enthusiasm. 17-15. Hokies trying to draw even in this match. Heels try to take a commanding 2 games and on edge. 18-15. And as we saw against Virginia, when it was time to go, these guys went.
Yeah, for sure. And they're harking back to that now. They needed it. They gave up that 10-6 advantage, and here they are with the advantage. Their teammates happy with them, and see if they can close it out.
Well, you see, that's the Hokie huddle there, joined by our buddy and resident here at Performance Pickleball, Anj Bassan. He goes to VCU, trying to get a club team started at VCU is Anj. But in the meantime, he's just going to join the Hokies.
Why not?
They're all high level. All these high level players know each other whether they're competing today or not. 18-15. That's what I really enjoyed today is the cheering. The spectators. Not that there's not a vibrance to all the tournaments, but just again with the family and friends and teammates encouraging. There's shouts coming from every corner of performance pickleball.
And the encouraging to be encouraged. Sometimes you go to tournaments and like, hush, hush, don't make a lot of noise until a certain moment. But here, please, be loud, be boisterous. Love that about college sports in general, and it's no different with pickleball.
Just about to implore Miller to follow that slice drop. He didn't, but it didn't wind up mattering. 19-15. Great drive from Gladstone, 20-15, and Virginia Tech, really from what was an evenly balanced game, surged to the catbird seat. Reset from Miller. And that'll do it. Virginia Tech bounces back just like they did in the semifinal round as they bring us to 1-1 in the championship match. Women go to the heels. Men go to the Hokies. We go to mixed doubles, square at 1. Nothing determined yet. This is the TowneBank College Cup.
About an hour just to check it out. It's an awesome indoor facility, really good place for, it seems like all levels can jump in and play.
Looks great, lots of people, bubbling with activity, lots of fun.
The surface is really good, everything, I love it.
One-stop shop, right? We got the bar, we got the restaurant, we got the waves, we got a ping pong table. I mean, you got showers. I mean, you come here, you can spend a day here and not get bored. It's a great experience.
the dream breaker in the semifinal. Virginia Tech besting Virginia in that dream breaker. Carolina did not need it as they were triumphant over Clemson. 1-1. Women goes to the Heels, men's goes to the Hokies. And now we go to mixed doubles, and not surprisingly, both sides are going to stay with the lineup that has gotten them here, as it will be Hunter Boyd and Kayla Nesbitt for North Carolina, and they will take on Cody Miller and Julia Hoffman for Virginia Tech. Now, this Hoffman-Miller team was actually defeated by Virginia, put the Hokies in a 2-1 hole in that instance. However, coming back out of that, Gladstone and Gaze were able to force that dream breaker. So we will see. Meanwhile, this Carolina duo was also the only duo to drop a game for Carolina in their semifinal.
Well, we do know. Okay, maybe I was wrong about
Carolina serving first and earned the first point. That was kind of a mistimed yell there from the Carolina fans.
Yeah.
And they knew it immediately and were apologetic about it, but it doesn't
not
get
all
the point
encouragement
back.
is encouraged. Timing is still important in college pickleball.
Hoffman unable to find the line on the ATP, so 2-0 quickly for North Carolina.
Yeah, we have seen Miller and Hoffman play together. We know Miller wants to come to the middle and push when he can.
A couple of elite defense. A couple of moments of elite defense from Hoffman, but too much from Hunter Boyd in the end.
Not always what you want if you're the female to straight across from the guy to be going in a speed-up battle, but she certainly held her own. Yeah, unfortunate Miller sliding that right foot after he touched it out of the air, foot fault, and point to the Tar Heels.
So rapidly 4-0 for the Tar Heels. That's what Virginia Tech needed, as Boyd, see kind of wincing right as he hit that. I think he wanted to go that direction but didn't commit the feet. And a little bit too much aim on that drive.
Yeah, something. It's almost like they're trying to hit the perfect shot when those moments arrive right now for the Hokies. And you're down 5-1, so perfection's not needed. Might have to make things a bit ugly to get back into it.
5-1 for Carolina. (5-2) for Carolina. And it's interesting. We still got a great crowd in attendance here, but all of these students need to get back to campus. So a lot of them, I could hear them saying, "Man, I wish we could stay and watch the championship," and had to drive back to, as I mentioned, Clemson and some other places.
Maryland, getting back to College Park. It's not a short trip.
Villanova, for that matter, to Philly.
Yeah. Charlotte was here today. The 49ers were in attendance. 4-hour trip
Really
back
cool
to the Queen City.
See all those teams make the trip down here, though. How about the run for Randolph-Macon, by the way? The only Division III team in the field. They made it to the quarterfinals. Great showing for Captain Luis Haney and company. They had a boisterous cheering section. Carolina off to the sturdy start here in mixed doubles.
Yeah. I was wondering if Miller was going to come back to the middle.
Overreach there from Miller, just out of his reach.
It's really tough because they're in the places they normally would be able to get it. And he's shaking his head too. Like, I don't understand why they're hitting the net now. Normally they're getting over top.
So Carolina, again, a very strong start. Ever since that quick burst of enthusiasm, and then the Carolina teammates kind of being bashful from that point. Their team's up 10-2. We haven't heard a peep since Carolina, but also that seems to be working.
Yeah,
so.
the score is speaking for itself right now. Nothing else needed.
10-2. Oh, and Miller on the re-rack two-hand off the backhand. So we won't change ends just yet as Virginia Tech pulls back the serve, trailing 3-10.
Yeah, look long from here. Nesbitt called it out.
So now we will change ends. 11-3 for North Carolina, the top seed, with the advantage in our championship match. Game 3, this match tied at a game apiece. Minute timeout, right back to Performance Pickleball RVA.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of every pickleball league. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of every pickleball league.
PPB RVA, host site of the TowneBank College Cup, and in a few weeks, host site of the Duper Virginia Super Regional. Can't tell you how stoked I am for that event. Great friends with Duper. Of course, we'll be hosting that. Winner of this match will make it a trip to Duper Nationals because there's a bid on the line here today. And there's the Cody Miller backhand roll that we have become accustomed to. See if Virginia Tech can mount a comeback here in Game 3, down 4-11.
Sorry, I got a little bit nervous for the spectators. Of course, you don't think about wearing eye protection when you're a fan, but you might have to do that sometimes.
And some of the severe angles certainly putting those fans in peril. 12-4.
I'm a huge proponent of wearing it on the court, but tag on.
Yeah, actually, our own Jonathan Medina Alvarez gave me my very first pair of torch protective eyewear the other day. I haven't tried them out just yet, so I haven't played since. But they're sitting in my locker, and I'm eager to give them a whirl.
They might take a little bit, especially since you wear a hat. You're trying to figure out the right way to wear them, but definitely worth it. First time that a ball comes close to your face.
Oh, what an alley there, exploited by Nesbitt.
Yeah, we were saying it during the break that things just don't look as crisp for Virginia Tech. They look maybe a little bit gassed, and some of these quick decisions needed aren't coming across as quickly as they need them to be.
Yeah, we wondered, and it'll be interesting to ask afterwards the physical toll that the Dreambreaker, and not just the Dreambreaker, but in 22-20 in Game 1, 27-25 in Game 4, then the Dreambreaker.
And everyone went through a Dreambreaker round at least twice. So there's 8 points there that you had to be a part of in singles play.
Oh, great angle on that backhand cross from Boyd. Miller unsure what to do with it. 14-6 for Carolina. Top spin off the tape. That's lethal most of the time. It is here. 15-6. Wasn't a lot Miller could do 2 shots prior. Hoffman did everything she could to hang in there, but Boyd got too spicy a shot there.
And UNC not letting up at all, which is the right thing to do. Don't have sympathy for your opponent. You want to win this thing, put it away, even if they're the ones making the mistakes. Keep doing your game and don't let up.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. UVA was unable to do that in the previous match. There was a couple of games that they had a stranglehold on, I thought, or could have with a couple more points scored, and didn't put Tech down, and ultimately they paid the price for that. And Hoffman caught Boyd leaning.
Everybody was wondering what happened on that. A little bit of a missed short circuit there.
7-17. And the dink straight ahead to put it on Hoffman, and Boyd, you can see shaking his head. He didn't like the shot selection in hindsight.
As long as you file that one away for a learning moment, you're up by this much, it's okay to take some chances here and there.
19-8. And a collision, a mild one, but a collision nonetheless between Nesbitt and Boyd.
Yeah, no communication until the end.
From Miller backfires, as there to fire was Nesbitt.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's one where all the ladies in the room were like, "Get out of our way, man. We can cover our own court." At least that's how my fiance does it when we watch pickleball on TV. She's not a fan of the poach.
Heels could only hang in for so long there, and Miller would not relent. 10-19. And again, able to secure the serve off that little backhand roll flick.
It's important to still have a big picture thought about this because there will be a fourth game. Your teammates need to feed off of something, so try to finish strong.
And again, it's been, I think, Gladstone who's been the steadiest player thus far for Virginia Tech. Great point there, Hoffman. A couple of sensational shots in that series.
Great job of continuing to keep it alive, first of all, and weather the storm. And Boyd he didn't have any more patience left in him.
12-20, though. And then you have to win on your serve. We've seen that come into play more than one occasion already since we went to the elimination format. Regardless, a tall hill to climb here. So now Carolina will have the opportunity to serve out game 3 here. Mm. 14.
Yeah, take those all day if you're Miller. That is, dunking on a little Tykes basketball hoop for him.
Boyd had everything he wanted.
Yes, he
let it
did.
slip away.
And big props to Hoffman, too, for continuing to stay staunch and steady straight across. Keep that thing going.
15-20 right on the line on that return from Boyd. Uh-oh, he missed.
He's out, yeah.
Boyd's second opportunity to bring the serve back. And like I say, Hokies climbing back in there. 16-20. And Boyd was so sharp all the way up to this most recent stretch of points.
Yeah, and honestly, this is very similar to Boyd and Demony's match with Virginia Tech, and where they had a lead kind of late in that second half, but they started to have some self-inflicted wounds. See if they can quit that now.
So timeout is taken. We will stay here, however, as you look across at Kitchen RVA, which is one of the unique aspects of Performance Pickleball RVA, first-class food and beverage operation inside what we feel is a world-class pickleball facility. Hey there, it has been an awesome day here at the TowneBank College Cup. Got a phenomenal semifinal between Virginia Tech and Virginia, and now this championship match, this game was maybe the most one-sided that we had seen through the semifinals and into this championship format, Joe. And then just when you thought it was safe to breathe, North Carolina, here come the Hokies back to 17-20 and forcing the timeout from Carolina.
Yeah, I think we wanted that first match, the semifinals, to live up to the rivalry that it was, UVA and Tech, and it did. Might be seeding us a new rivalry here with Tech and UNC, especially if the Hokies can perform this comeback.
And regardless of what happened, the timeout already effective just for that mishit off the serve. And another opportunity for Carolina now. Serve it out. Yeah. Carolina got a slight scare there, but ultimately secures again that they were the dramatically better team. So Carolina takes a 2-1 lead and are a game away from hoisting the TowneBank College Cup, but this was the exact scenario that faced Virginia Tech in the semifinals. Win to force the Dream Breaker. Still much to come in the championship match of the TowneBank College Cup.
Promise was made, which formed a family that embarked on a journey. Their path was uncertain. Their determination was not. Today, they reach that destination. Paradise. Welcome to Performance Pickleball RVA.
The first ever TowneBank College Cup. We've actually got the cup right here, Joe. Let's show people what they're planned for. Here we go, right here. This beautiful piece of hardware.
You've been working out, haven't
bid
you?
to nationals. I have not, you know that. But I appreciate you trying to let people think that. Right behind me there's that bid to Duper Nationals. We're giving one away to the champion today, 3 away in the Virginia Super Regional, which will take place March 23rd and 24th right here. Ecstatic for that field, ecstatic for the outcome of today as well. And ultimately 4 teams will come right out of this building to that Duper National platform, which, of course, Virginia won a year ago. And it is worth pointing out Virginia fell in the semifinals today without their top team. So kudos to Virginia Tech on the win, but Virginia's still right there at that nationally elite status like the Tar Heels are and like this Tech team is aspiring to be. Now another chance for Carolina to win it all, but another opportunity for Zach Gladstone and Nilium Gaze to hold serve, as it were, and force another Dream Breaker scenario here in our championship match.
The two that I think are the most level-headed players on the court from what we've seen so far. We didn't get to see, unfortunately, a lot of UNC play earlier, but Gladstone, he's going to cover every little bit of the court, and Gaze, she's going to do her part at the top level. So I'll be interested to see how they handle things early on. I want to go back to something you mentioned about the bid today, the 3 that'll get a bid to nationals in this building. I think it's just a great chance to showcase what Performance Pickleball RVA has to offer for the next level of pickleballers, right, in this college world. And the fact that we're going to see 4 teams leave this building and go to nationals is pretty incredible for a place that's been open for a month and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, things are built on relationships, and a lot of this has been built on our relationship with Derek Crage and this Virginia Tech team. We've gotten to know so many of the other teams throughout the course of the registration process. So Sarah Carpenter playing alongside Stephen Demony. We mentioned the duo of Gaze and Gladstone for Tech. And there's Gaze. So sneaky right through the middle.
One thing important, I wrote this down after Miller and Hoffman went off, is obviously they were disappointed with how it ended, but could have been even more disappointed because they were down by a lot, and it ended up being 21-17. So they make sure that Gaze and Gladstone remember those positives towards the end to try to feed some of that positivity from them, because it is, at the end of the game, end of the day, it is a team sport. So if they can do what they're doing now and keep it close or even take a lead early, that could go a long way.
Gaze with a couple strong shots to get this match started, but Carpenter the response right off the toes. 1-2. Carolina serving, make it 2-2, and
Very
Gladstone with the universal pickleball response to something like that. What's wrong with my paddling?
Hey, a good craftsman never blames their tools. Come on now.
Then I must not be a good craftsman. Leaning in as far as he could across that line and doing so again for the impossible angle.
Oh, thank God that was empty.
Knocked that beer out of that gentleman's hand, and the ball winds up right here at my feet. Here you go, guys.
You always find your way into it.
Yeah, I know.
Always.
One of the most embarrassing moments I ever had was calling a Tech basketball game. The ball rolled right down under my feet. I didn't realize that it was there. One of the players came over. I thought he was trying to dap me up. He's like, no, give us the ball. I'm like, oh.
We need this.
That was a nationally televised game.
Oh, yeah. Well, you made it on TV.
Yeah.
There you go.
4-2, Virginia Tech trying to force the dream breaker. But loose shot there from Gladstone.
What'll be interesting with this UNC pairing, Carpenter we saw in that women's matchup, 21-11 was the score of that one. And Carpenter was a stalwart as far as really kind of holding serve as the dominant player. And then when the men came around, it was a little bit of a struggle for Boyd and Benemy. So for Denemy, I'm just very intrigued by the way that this mentally will go for these two players.
Carpenter. Cross-angle smash, 5-4 for Virginia Tech. And, you know, what's always interesting about mixed doubles is when the women's player, like in Carpenter's case, just dominant, as you were just outlining, from the left side. But on the right side here.
Good point.
And how well that translates. Thus far, just fine, 5-5. And then, of course, going back to this rally scoring, you don't switch sides at all. So on that right side, as is generally the case in mixed doubles.
That is a really good point because we saw a lot of her smashing balls with the right hand through the middle. Well, she's not going to get those opportunities in this particular way it's set up. So very, very studious point.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the forehand, in other words. Mm-hmm. You see the forehand there of Zach Gladstone. Six, Gaze. Heavy topspin serve. Gladstone trying to step in front to take the forehand. Just cleaning up the fact that our graphic still had Hunter Boyd on it because he played so sensationally. We thought they were going to let him play twice. But actually, Stephen Denemy. Regardless, Virginia Tech needs to claim this game to force the dream breaker. North Carolina a little slip there from Gaze, it looked like.
Yeah, and Gladstone was really close to her as well, so she was a little bit short on her swing. It's a tough position to be in. Your peripherals, no matter how much you're ready for it, someone coming at you like that can disrupt you.
8-8. Slick catch off that stray shot. Sideline by Hoffman. Just snared that leg.
No emotion either.
Yeah.
I got this. Big deal.
Excellent deep return from Gladstone and a pump of the fist. 8-9. Yeah, bad decision and bad execution that time from Gaze. Got to be soft with that shot.
Yeah, it's really tough sometimes in motion, but they're going to happen though. Sometimes you're going to miss more than you make. So Have to get over it pretty quickly.
And getting Carpenter involved, a mistake from Gladstone. It will change ends with Carolina with the 11-8 lead, the 2-1 edge, a game away. This could be that game from holding the first ever TowneBank College Cup. Step aside for 60 seconds from Pickleball Paradise. Championship match continues right after these.
Promise was made, which formed a family that embarked on a journey. Their path was uncertain. Their determination was not. Today, they reach that destination. Paradise. Welcome to Performance Pickleball RVA.
North Carolina trying to close in on the College Cup in the national bid from Duper. They lead 11-8, up 2-1. Gladstone and Gaze have been so tough in these spots, but nothing Gladstone could have done off that tape benefit. 12-8 for Carolina. Gladstone not to be denied. Had to find 3 different angles to ultimately put it on the toes of Carpenter.
That's what I was going to mention too. Demony on his heels, still able to return one of those back.
Ooh, and a crossfire strike on Gaze. She'll shake that off. That certainly stung at close range for Nilium.
Yeah, it's in that neck clavicle area.
Excellent subtle angle there from Gladstone. 10-13.
Oh, wow.
A little punch the opposite way.
That's
from Denemy.
Really impressive to go from one corner to the other in stride.
Stephen Demony. Again, stepping in. Colin Schick moving on to the professional ranks. And the depth of the returns has definitely increased from both sides here as this game has progressed.
It's not a part of the game that gets talked about a whole lot, but it can really hinge as far as the result goes on the deep returns. You force that opponent to stay back, and now you have the advantage because you can move to the kitchen.
15-11 for Carolina. 21 first, and now they're at 16. They're heading to Duper Nationals, and they're taking this cup with them back to Chapel Hill. Oh, that was a tremendous dig. Carpenter thought she had put that point to rest.
Yeah, great defense by Tech. Not giving in either, knowing how runs can be in rally scoring. There's no sense in just pulling back and getting ready to go back to Blacksburg.
16-12, but as we have seen a number of times, these games have had a tendency to tighten down the backstretch.
Oh, man.
Great hand-eye right there from Gladstone to change. The big swing on the first and second, tighter to the shoulder.
Very good adjustment all the way around. I like that Carpenter decided to go across court with her dink as well.
14-17. Gladstone punching that left fist. Oh, and Carpenter just tried to do too much with it. It was a little high on that reset from Gaze, but not high enough to attack on that angle.
Here we go.
Off the wrist and down with authority.
Yeah, that's a nice emphatic way to stop momentum if you're on UNC's side of things.
And the ball flying over top of us and out of play allowed Carolina an opportunity for the Tar Heels. Chank, a little late night life here.
Well timed.
Yeah, what a sneak attack there from Carpenter.
I wasn't even sure if she meant to do it. Her wrist kind of made a weird motion, like, I guess I'm going straight now.
Yeah, I think she caught Gladstone kind of dipping that right shoulder. 2 points away for the Tar Heels. 1 point away for the Tar Heels. 20-15. Championship point. And the keep is headed down Tobacco Road. The Tar Heels have defeated Virginia Tech. They are the first ever TowneBank College Cup champions.
Well earned overall, and a team that we expect to be at Nationals to begin with, but why not get it done a little early? Congratulations to UNC.
Congratulations indeed to UNC. Joe, I'm going to let you put the broadcast to bed. I am going to go award this cup to the Tar Heels, and as I mentioned, Tobacco Road, let them get on the road. But final thoughts from me. Thank you so much to our crew from VPM for allowing us to put together this broadcast and let people watch all the enthusiasm and excitement that was emanating from Pickleball Paradise today. Again, a huge thank you to Derek Crage, Ben, the co-coordinators of the tournament, our staff, of course, but most importantly, all the students and athletes that came to participate and all the spectators as well. High hopes for the day, exceeded every bit. And in every way, thank you to all. Joe's got you from here. Thanks to you as well, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We'll see you at the bar in a little bit. We'll wrap this thing up just by reminding you to follow Performance on social media, PPBRVA, YouTube right here as well. We would get to see highlights of today's action throughout the day. I was roaming the courts, getting some of the best stuff from all the teams, so they'll all have a little piece of the video pie there for sure. And as John said, thanks to everybody that helped put this on, and thanks to you for tuning in and supporting these athletes. We look forward to the next time the collegiate level will be in this building, March 23rd, for the Duper Super Regionals, the Virginia Super Regionals. 3 more teams will clinch their bid to the national championships. That's all I have. Oh, one more thing. If you're interested in Pickleball podcasts, we've got one. Spotify and Apple. It's called The Stack. Tune in every Thursday. We got guests not just from this area, but from across the national landscape of pickleball. Enjoy the trophy ceremony right here on PPB RVA. Thank you again for tuning in.